Hi, and welcome to another episode of Eyes Wide Open, a daily short podcast on the topic of Moshiach and the upcoming redemption, dedicated in memory of Rabbi Tzvi ben Alexander Cohen Kogan Hashem Yinkim Domri. This episode is also dedicated to Zuchus Micho Elazar ben Malko, the Yeshava Refuah Shalem Atikaf Mi'an Mamash. We've been talking about the belief in Moshiach and the yearning for Moshiach and why it is such an essential need why is it such an essential idea in Judaism that every single Jew believes in Mashiach. And we've been talking about a few different reasons, and today we're going to share one more, which is, in a nutshell, that belief in Mashiach and yearning for Mashiach expresses a very core of our soul in the most selfless way. Every single Jew has within them a soul, and the core of that soul, the core identity of a soul, is pure selflessness, doing whatever God wants, not necessarily what feels good to it, but what God wants. Every single soul starts off, the journey into this world starts off the same way, that they get called over, and they get told that they're going to be sent down into this world, and it's going to be a world of struggle. It's going to be a world where they're not going to remember about God, they're not going to remember about purpose, they're going to get caught up in all types of stuff, and it's going to be an extraordinary struggle to find any sort of meaning. And it'll be impossible to live the type of life they lived in, a soul lived in heaven. And the soul in heaven says, well, I don't want to do that. Why should I want to do that? And they get told back, because God wants you to. And that's enough with the soul. The soul at its very core is deeply selfless. And if it gets told this is what God wants, that's all it needs to hear. The greatest expression of that selflessness is Mashiach. See, every single soul yearns to connect to God, yearns to learn more about God, know more about God, build a deeper connection with God. But no matter how much of a connection we build with God, it's limited to the limitations of us. We're limited beings, and however great we might become, that's how deep that relationship might be. It's limited to us. And for Mashiach, the relationship we can have, a personal relationship we can have, is that's what's within our power, the ability to have a personal relationship with God, hopefully to the greatest possible expression it can be. But what Moshiach introduces is the idea that all of existence has this relationship with God. It's not limited in any way. It's not limited just to me. To put it in a different way, when Moshiach comes, there was nothing that doesn't express God. There was nothing that isn't harmonized with God. Before Moshiach comes, the most we can expect of ourselves is that I will connect with God. I will harmonize myself with God. I perhaps would express God. But when Mashiach, there is nothing that doesn't harmonize with God. And the question is, in a theoretical situation where someone has a fully expressed relationship with God, they're passionately devoted to God, everything that they could give to this relationship to God, they have given. But Mashiach isn't here, which means the rest of existence doesn't experience that. The rest of existence doesn't have this true harmony with God. Why should it matter? You have it. All you should care about is your own needs, and you have expressed your relationship with God. Who cares about the rest of existence? To care, to nevertheless care and care deeply. Like the Rebbe will talk about, to be broken, to feel like you're missing everything because Mashiach isn't here, is a truly selfless expression. It's turning around and saying, I might have it, but it doesn't matter to me because the rest of the world doesn't have it. And that's what God wants. God wants His relationship with everybody. God wants His relationship with everything. God wants this true harmony to experience everywhere. So the fact that I have it doesn't mean anything if it's not expressed everywhere. And therefore, to want Mashiach is a truest expression of our soul. And it's a yardstick for us. And when we are looking to ourselves and we're asking ourselves, is my soul healthy? Is my relationship with God healthy? Is there room to grow? A good place to look is, to what degree do we find ourselves yearning for Mashiach? To what degree do we find ourselves thinking about not just what I want out of this day, but what does God want out of this day? God wants Mashiach. To what degree do I think about that? To what degree do I want that? To what degree does it bother me that it's not yet here? And that can be a yardstick for us to tell to what degree our relationship with God and our relationship with our own soul is healthy. Thank you all for joining, and I'll see you at the next episode.